A machine gun in the West? Wild
Oh
West?
yeah, they had Maxim gun.
Oh, okay. All right, we're back. Welcome back to Sack to the
Sick.
Future Wild Card Weekend. The Bears taking on the semi-pro team, winners of the semi-pro division, 5-10-1 Tampa Bay.
My butt kicked.
And
Yeah, that was a
there's
Maxim machine gun.
all kinds of non-Sack to the Future stuff in the background with
Yes.
I apologize if my
John,
wrestling is too loud.
Vinny in his wrestling, and John's playing, I already forgot, Red Dead Redemption, right? Number 2?
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
2. Hopefully killing people, but possibly getting killed.
Well, apparently I
I'm
ran
hosting a
into a
watch
bad
party.
guy's outpost.
Seems like a bad thing to do.
Yeah, I did it on accident.
The Bucks desperately wanted to wear creamsicles, so I let them, but on the other hand, maybe it was showing me the wrong thing and they'll come out in their regular home jerseys. Let's see in a second here. Nope. Okay. Creamsicle it is. Now this should
is
be...
the 4-5, right?
Yep. Bears are the 5 seed. Bucks at 5-10-1 are the 4 seed.
Don't know where
And,
you're going.
Right.
It is tough. There's a lot
Yep.
of them.
I'll have to wait till the Vikings and Cardinals tangle to see where the Bears go if I
We'll do it in
win.
the next couple of days, depending on when Brian can get on and do that.
Okay. So the Raiders Bills goes first.
Yep.
There it is. It makes it look like the winner of the Cardinals Vikings is going to meet the winner of this game. Obviously, that's not true, but those are the 2 games happening this weekend in the NFC. The Bears should win this game fairly easily. However, we played in the regular season, and I only beat Tampa Bay by 2 points, 14-12. I think that was even in Chicago. So if home field's really worth 3 points, who knows? Oh. And the other fun thing about this is the Bears kicking. Comes down to a field goal. Pretty sure I lost.
Roger Leclerc is not that good.
Well, I don't even remember if he's the field goal guy or not. He's not anything great, but whoever kicks the field goals is.
Ed Schlebeck.
And it's a combo of, I mean, he's not rated very well. Like my guy for San Francisco is rated better, and the guy in Boston's rated better, but it's also me. For some reason, I don't know if it's Cody Parkey or what, but for some reason on the Bears, I miss the accuracy mark so much more than with other teams. That's not a good start. 9 yards ripped off on the first carry. Oh, come on, guys. Quick pass, that works, and they make me turn into the wrong guy, and this might be a touchdown. Oh, Pettibone just gets him at the 4-yard line. Wow. Wow. Okay. And up right up the middle. Gets a yard. Let's take a look at this line that's manhandling my defense. Sutro, John Denver, Kunis, and others. Joe Womack's a running back, otherwise I don't recognize the names. What are the Bucks supposed to be if they're not retirees?
In the bottom.
What's that?
Do you remember
What
what
were
the
they
Bucks
supposed
were?
to be?
Yeah.
There are so many retirees on them now, I don't think it matters, but I think they were random 1964 newsmakers.
Okay. And most of the retirees are probably 1 or 2 year guys, so I really don't recognize hardly any of the names on their teams.
Schlebeck played 1 game for the Jets, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't know where Womack played, but I think I remember his name. As a running back playing against him or something.
Nice sack there on Second down.
But yeah, Tampa Bay probably signed the
Lay
most
down.
retirees, so it's not a surprise that they won this semi-pro division and they're here.
Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Select 2 for 2 for 70+ yards.
All right, let's come up here. Get him up here. Help him up here.
But luckily, I will hold him to a field goal attempt.
Give me this. And now that you pulled the box up, yeah, he wants to get into that one.
Tampa Bay strikes first, 3-0. Oh boy, okay. Martin gets his legs taken out, gets up to the 24-yard line. Out comes Billy Wade. 3,369 yards, 29 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Pretty good year. Much better than my, well, 2 of my other quarterbacks. Actually, he probably was my best quarterback this year. That just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier.
No, let him lay down. There's no room for you in there when he's in there.
And off to John Arnett. Gets 8 yards. Arnett and Ronnie Bull, the main running backs, and they will be part of the running back committee next year, but probably won't see very much action.
In the blanket.
My dream's coming true, and certain rookie stays healthy all year.
Here. There's no real shit. I'm okay with that.
3rd and 4.
Not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. He'll look to throw.
Oh. Knocked away. Bears forced a punt.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
You can hear it, but it's not that bad. I just turned the volume on your game, and you can hear the wrestling, but it's not that bad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is it loud in you guys' ears?
No.
No.
Okay.
All right, Bears need to do better this time around on defense.
All next is Bret Hart versus The Miz.
I heard of Bret Hart.
Well, I'm doing a collage. That's not the right term for a playlist of May 2010. The important events in wrestling history from May of 2010.
Adobradovich, Stan Jones, Kilcullen, and Adkins across the line. Bill George in the middle, Purnell and Fortunato are the linebackers. Pettibone and Taylor at the safeties. J.C. Caroline and Dave Ritzel.
Of course, he retired 20 years ago. That time's just going way too quickly.
Yes, it is. Nice job by Jones to bring down Womack.
The only person in this match at all that still works for TNA is Rob Van Dam. That's announcers, referees, everybody. Well, maybe Mike Tenay. I haven't heard of him going anywhere else. But Earl Hebner is retired. The ring announcer Jeremy Borash works for WWE. Styles and Flair work for WWE. And Taz works for AEW. Sorry, I am carrying on a conversation with somebody in my room and it's going out on your broadcast. I apologize.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know what any of these names mean.
Well, you've heard of Ric Flair. Come on.
Well, Ric Flair, yeah, of course.
I think I have a
So here's a topic of conversation for you. Has anybody seen the new guidelines for school reopening by the CDC?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I did, but I can't remember them.
I don't have them in front of me, but basically they did not take into account learning disabled or sensory enhanced, like autistic or Asperger's.
Oh, it sounds
children.
like a goddamn fucking brainwashing agenda.
Unsustainable. It is idiotic. It is unrealistic. It is an absolute joke, and it basically means the school will not be opening up in the fall. I mean, the whole bus thing, the schools cannot afford the extra busing they're going to have to do for social distancing by having to basically cut their numbers by a third.
Okay.
Colin.
No more cafeterias, no more... first of all, my son's going into middle school next year, and they're eliminating... You have to stay with the same staff all day long, so no more switching teachers, which is a key component.
Wow.
Middle school and high school is learning teaching styles from different teachers.
Yep. That's true.
So what do teams talk about? Bringing their own momentum, bringing their own energy on the road.
And I really do feel bad for the kids, the parents, for the kids basically, but for the parents who have children who have special needs.
Now
and
this
have
is
fought
just
hard.
Sorry, this was just recommendation, right? I mean, it's up to the states if they are going to go that crazy. Yeah.
But you know New York will. I don't know about where you live, but you know New York will. As it was, Cuomo came out a couple weeks ago and said that he doesn't even know why school buildings still exist in their current form.
Well, my only hope is that Evers is not necessarily the guy I voted for, but he is. He's all about education. That's what he ran on and everything. So we'll see. We'll see if he remembers that. That's important also. Safety certainly important, but you know, it's more than one thing that's important is what I'm trying to say.
It is, but you gotta understand too, people gotta take into account that learning cannot be controlled in such an environment like that, and there are going to be kids that simply fall behind because they won't get the attention they deserve or need.
Yep. John Lennon's in there at middle linebacker. Wayne Fonts. I know that name. Coach of the Lions later on.
Good evening.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, you know. Living the dream without running backs.
Catch the ball.
it's more of a nightmare, I think.
What? How long does it take you to throw the ball? Now we're back to that. Alright, looks like the Bears are having a hard time with the semi-pro defense. Bunch of old retirees. Well, actually, some of them are not old. Some of them are like 26-year-old retirees. So the winner of this game waits and watches. Then if the Vikings win their game, then the winner of this game will go see the Cowboys. If the Cardinals win,
I don't know if you're going to
goes to
see
the
comments or not, but Soundwave just posted a comment.
Oh.
They've been iffy. He said, "Hello guys, playoff time." They've been iffy whether they've been showing up on the screen or not lately.
Yeah, I know. Half the time, if I comment, it doesn't show up, and the other half
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's been doing that for about a week now. Looks like it's only just saying one guy's watching, and it makes at least me and Soundwave.
Well, I still don't see anything. Soundwave, thanks for joining. I'm having a hard time with the semi-pro team so far. I am not watching my own game, so I'm not going to see the comments.
There you go. Lay down.
Oh.
Bears over here.
Just outside of McCree's hand. Wingspan. So sorry, did you guys schedule the Raiders Bills yet? Is that tomorrow or we're not sure?
Can be tomorrow. I'm open.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to lose another running back.
Which
Apparently
running
it
back would
doesn't
you like
matter.
to go after? Might be Cookie's last game as a Bill if I don't win.
If you don't win. I haven't beaten the Bills all year.
How many times have you tried?
Bills beat the Browns and Bills beat the Raiders.
So 1, 2.
And Bills beat the Rams.
And
Oh
Bills
my
beat
God,
the
how's
Rams.
he wide open? And the Bears need to get their heads out of their butts before this thing is, before Tampa Bay's advancing.
Can the Bucks become the first NFL South team to advance in the playoffs? I hope not. I was hoping it to be the Falcons in '66.
Yeah, pretty
Of
much.
course.
Well, come on. I got to win that division at least in '66. I'm all alone that year.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
hope
but
so.
see, by then, you gotta remember, starting in '65, we're letting the semi-pro teams get better. So
Yeah,
in theory,
Jim Brown and
Yeah,
Wyatt
New
Tittle
Orleans
will
will
be
probably
there.
have Jim Brown in '66.
you could be the
That's
worst
like,
team in the league.
That would be interesting.
The Colts are losing Marquetti in '65 for 1 year.
Russell Blanket and
I
stuff.
shudder to think who he's going to go sign with.
I didn't get a notification on
Tampa Bay.
any of my YouTube.
Colin, I told you not to get in there with him.
Fumble.
You're too big for
Picked
him.
up by Taylor, and then he rolls around on the ground. Gets back up and gets tackled. I don't care about the rolling around as long as he recovered it. Sometimes when these retirees are going up and down the field, I wonder why they retired. But then, you know, when they drop the ball like that, you're reminded.
Congratulations, big time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Of course, there's no excuse for Jim Brown retiring after 1 more year. So he's still.
Well, he's going to have to since he just had a torn triceps. I mean,
Should we just retire him this year?
Yeah, it actually makes the storyline a little bit different with that injury, because we know that he retired at the top of his game in real life,
Yeah.
but this time it could be the injury that causes it.
So the biggest offensive play for the Bears so far was that Billy Wade run. Marconi gets a few more across midfield.
I need Chicago to win because that's the only chance. That's the only team that's going to beat the Packers.
So you are already penciling the Cardinals in, huh?
Over the Vikings, yes, because it's Vinny and it's the Cardinals, and if they're losing, the computer will shut down
They
magically.
They weren't able to do that against the Vikings the first time, though.
Well, Vinny wasn't very good at the early part of the season with the Cardinals. Didn't he lose most of his games in the first 5?
Yeah, I think so.
I
No,
think
not
so.
the first 5.
You lost 4,
They're on like a
you lost
9-game winning streak or something.
but you lost 2 in the first couple because you lost the Vikings and the Cowboys.
Right.
Get out of there. Ugh. Too much creamsicle speed.
I noticed Leroy Kelly had some really good speed. I'm gonna have to use him more. Since I don't have Jim Brown anymore.
It's an interesting strategy to try to win it all without the best player in the league. Although no real-life champion has won it yet because they haven't been willing to give up their best player.
No. Pick up these, please. Pick these up, please. Pick these up, please.
You're down to the 24-yard line.
There he is. Jesus.
Nice catch by Morris.
Shot him in the head. Big old grizzly.
Oh. Speaking of Bears.
Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He's able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
31-20 feet.
Oh, yeah. That was the playoff game that's happened already.
Yeah.
Browns beat down the Chiefs 31-28. I say beat down the Chiefs. Len Dawson had at least 5 incompletions, I believe.
I believe so, yes.
It's a beat down in the Chiefs book.
He was hot early on. He only missed 2 in the first quarter and a half. Thank God I have poor Warfield.
Billy Wade walks it in a
So
little
the
bit
other
faster.
guy that, what, 84, McNeil, that made that catch?
Yeah, the catch in the end zone.
Oh, that was a nice
awesome,
catch.
too.
That was the little guy, McDeal, right? Isn't he like...
Well, I don't remember.
Maybe I'm
but he
thinking of
was-
the wrong guy.
I think you're thinking of Gerald McNeil.
Well, that would be like 20 years later, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I could be confused.
That McNeil's name starts with a C.
Screenshot it. You know how?
Well, I actually make a kick, so it's 7-3.
Yeah, find that Dallas Cowboys
Find that
greatest
post again.
ever all-time team.
Somebody was just complaining about Trump not wearing a mask.
Did you agree with it? Not the Trump thing. The Cowboys
I would
All these
debate.
people complaining about not wearing a mask or not.
They had Roger Staubach at quarterback, Emmitt Smith running back. I would debate Tony Dorsett instead of Emmitt Smith.
What, Colin?
The wide receivers were Bob Hayes, Drew Pearson, and Michael Irvin.
One of those is not a Hall of Famer, though.
Yeah, but
Please,
the only all 70s player, all 70s team player to not be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know.
Then the offensive line was basically the current offensive line with the exception of Larry Allen
get out of the way.
and Rayfield Wright. You went Tyron Smith, Larry Allen, Travis
There
Frederick,
we go. Fortunato.
Zach Martin, and then Rayfield Wright. Defense was Charles Haley and DeMarcus Ware, and I just don't know if you can leave out either Harvey Morton or Too Tall Jones. For one of those two needs to be in, I think. The defensive line, the defensive tackles were Randy White, Bob Lilly. Linebackers, they only had 2 linebackers. They were Chuck Hawley and Leroy Jordan, I think.
Really?
I think so. I'm trying to find it. John. There it is. Where's John? Let's see.
There we go. 14-3 now. It's a minute to go.
Here we go. The defensive tackles are Haley. Line was Haley, Lily, White, Ware. Linebackers are Howley and Jordan. Cornerbacks are Renfro, Sanders, and Cornell Green. So both guys that are my X factors on defense. In fact, all three of my X factors on defense are all on the All Cowboys team. And then the safeties are Cliff Harris and Darren Woodson.
I don't know. You started a group? A group? Oh, no, it doesn't. No, I thought you were talking about like a group.
Tampa Bay's gonna down it.
Cowboys fan survey.
Box alone. Colin.
How many games will the Cowboys win this season? 12 or more, 10 or 11, 8 or 9, 6 or 7, less than 6.
There. John.
What?
You know our mutual friend from college, who came to college with a injured leg, injured hip?
Oh, knocked it out, I guess. All right.
So,
Jen? I don't want to go further than that because it's a... But,
Oh,
yeah, you should just see her recent Facebook post. I never knew that about her.
I don't know that John's in the party anymore.
Yeah, it looks like he just left.
14-3, how'd you get to 14?
They threw a pick 6 to Fortunato, which was nice of them.
So, Bears are going to win.
They better.
Oh, who's going to start at left guard?
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's a nice little return by Arnett. He's one of my returners next year as well. Let's see.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, I didn't know you were gone.
No. We're on the second to last segment in my watch party now.
This was, you were running the watch party?
Yeah. Facebook is screwing up tonight.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Morris makes the catch right at the 30.
Ooh. All right, sack to the future, guys. I know, I know at least 2 of you hate the Cowboys, but I'm answering the survey here. If the Cowboys have to win 1 game to make the playoffs, and each of these players are in their prime, who do you want at quarterback? I already know who I'm going to say, but I want to know, since most of you guys know all these players. Don Meredith, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Danny White, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott.
Wait, you have one, what was it? You have 1 game that you have to win?
The Cowboys have to win 1 game to make the playoffs, and each of the quarterbacks are in their prime. Meredith, Stockback, Aikman, White, Romo, Prescott.
I would probably go with Staubach.
That's my... In descending order, I would start with Staubach, then go Aikman, Meredith, Romo, White, Prescott.
All right, Morris gets in before the half.
21-3 now?
Yes. Oh, 12.
All right.
Okay, I logged in to see, and I see some comments here. Hi, Steve. I wasn't trying to ignore you. I didn't know comments were not working, and I wasn't watching my own game. But thanks for joining, and I'm not sure what 12 is in response to Soundwave. But were we asking something? Oh, probably Aikman. I mean, not Aikman, Stavek.
Okay, who's the Dallas Cowboys' all-time greatest pass catcher? Your options are Bob Hayes, Drew Pearson, Tony Hill,
Hey,
Michael
John
Irvin,
Beck.
Jay Novacek, Jason Witten, Des Bryant. I'm sure an avid Giants fan will want to listen to this poll.
Colin, what are you doing? Give me the purple blanket. The purple pillow. Give me the
Best
purple pillow.
pass catcher.
Yes. It's not receiver because they include tight ends.
Right. I mean, those are always so hard because, like, if I was just going to throw a ball and tell someone to go get it,
There you go. Give me his bottle.
probably, maybe Des Bryant, or Michael Irvin, but obviously if it was getting open, Jason Witten is pretty good at that.
Here. Lay down.
If I was going to throw a bomb, just a straight goat fly pattern, I'd probably throw it to Hayes.
Yeah, sure.
It's really tough.
Really?
I'm gonna
They're
say
going to hand
Michael.
off and then call timeout. It's cool.
Okay, here you go. You got two options. Who's the Cowboys' all-time greatest coach?
Tom Landry.
It's got to be Landry for longevity.
Oh, here we go. Who is the Cowboys' all-time worst head coach? Chan Gailey, Dave Campo, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett. That's
Chan Gailey, because he was also the worst coach in Bills history.
No, it's the guy after Chan Gailey. They only coached to go 5-11 3 years in a row in Dallas. Let the Giants beat them repeatedly. Which Cowboys team from the last decade was the best? 2016, 2014, 2018.
Oh, they're going for it here. I missed that question entirely.
Which Cowboys team from the last decade was the best? The 2016 team that went 13-3, lost to the Packers thanks to fucking Aaron Rodgers.
What the hell?
Oh, I gotta watch the highlight.
No way.
Wow. Oh my God.
It was volleyball. He hit it to him on purpose.
That was amazing.
If that would have won the
Sorry,
game
dude.
or something, I don't know what I would do. Luckily, it's a game I feel like I'll win even if they do cheat. Let me see. Let me see if he actually bats it to his... Yeah, he did it on purpose. So at least it was that and not like bouncing off my guy's head or something. Wow. Guess when you're a semi-pro team, you can hire volleyball players.
That's amazing. You know you're going to hate that play if they come back.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate it now. I just, at least the replay for EA Sports credit, I guess. At least the replay looked like he tried to do it and it wasn't just some kind of random hit the guy in the back of the helmet and have a perfect bounce.
I'm going to say 2014 team. What grade would you give the Jerry Jones as the GM? A through F.
Wow, he's at different
D
years. He's
because
gotten
every now
every one
and
of
then
those
they make the
grades.
playoffs. Yeah, a D because every now and then they make the playoffs, but he has not been sustainable as, consistent.
What grade would you give the owner, Jerry Jones?
Initially an A, because the move to initially, as much as it pained Cowboy fans in 88, 89 to move on, he did the right thing. But After Jimmy Johnson, it's got to go down to, again, a D. His coaching decisions have been spotty.
Well, okay.
He's brought in names like Bill Parcells at one point.
But
but
are we talking strictly football or also business? Because there's no way it's a D.
I would assume owner encompasses business as well.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah, nobody can argue with the amount of money he's made. That's for sure.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna do a
pretty good.
I'm gonna do a B because he has, the team hasn't won a championship in 25 years, and it's the richest one in the world, and you can't do that without being a good owner. I don't think. Not a great owner, because a great owner would have them winning every Super Bowl for the last 25 years. Okay, then this one's easy.
Who is a great owner?
There are no great owners.
Okay.
Who is more responsible for the Cowboys winning 3 Super Bowls in the 1990s? Jerry or Jimmy?
Jimmy.
Yeah. What grade would you give Jason Garrett for his time as head coach?
He made the playoffs a couple times, right?
C.
Even a number one seed at one point.
He made the playoffs in 14, 16, and 18.
And was the number one seed once, wasn't he?
And 2014. No,
I have
yes.
to ask one thing first.
Yes.
What is the most average grade you can possibly get?
A C.
Okay, that's his grade.
A C in college translates to a 2.0.
That's what I gave him. I gave him a C because I think he inherited a bad team, and to get that bad team to go 8-8 3 years in a row was okay. But he wasted Tony Romo's prime, Brian's prime, because his play calling, his head coaching skills are iffy.
He's not garbage because he can get bad teams to go 8-8, but he's not good because he can get good teams to go 8-8.
Right. Okay, here's a question. If the Dez Bryant catch stands in 2014 at Green Bay, because we all know he did catch it, how do the Cowboys finish that season? They still end up losing that game. Do they win that game but lose the NFC Championship game in Seattle? Win the game but eventually lose the Super Bowl to the Patriots, or do they win the Super Bowl?
I don't think they beat Seattle. I think they may get by Green Bay, but that wasn't the end of the game, right?
No. No. Dallas still needed to score a touchdown and then keep Aaron Rodgers from moving down the field and scoring, which they've never been able to do.
Yeah, they don't have a track record against Aaron Rodgers. I missed another kick.
I'm still going to say that they win the game but lose to Seattle.
Yeah, that's the other thing is how much time did Aaron Rodgers have left, and you know what he did to them in 2016.
Had 3 minutes left because they needed to make a key third down in order to run out the clock when the Cowboys had the ball, when they were driving down the field.
I think just Green Bay still might have won that game.
I'm going to say no, just because Dez caught it. How long before the Cowboys win another Super Bowl?
I got unfriended over that game by a fraternity brother.
Oh, wow.
Well,
is John back in the party?
He's just disgusted by this Cowboy conversation.
No,
it's the rule that's stupid.
Oh, okay. That was the game where John and I lost a fraternity brother as a Facebook friend because we had dared say Dallas wasn't any good.
Because Dez fucking fucked up and dropped the ball.
No, he caught it, and the referees and the jackass in New York.
You know what's beautiful about sports?
Out of his hand.
You know what's beautiful about sports is you can see two different people can see the same thing in two different ways. For instance, I was watching on Sunday the NFL's top 100 plays.
Make you see two different things in two different ways too. When a dude wants to be a woman.
I was watching the NFL's top 100 plays the other day at work, and they showed the Music City Miracle, or as I call it, the Music City Blasphemy. And clearly, it's a forward pass, but
That was
Except
not
it's actually a
clearly
backward
forward
pass.
It
See
wasn't
what I'm saying?
forward.
That was very much a backwards pass.
see what I'm
It
saying?
was-
There's
I
dash
don't care
marks and
how you
lines
look
and
at
all
it.
that.
Yes, that's mathematically impossible for it to be a forward pass.
I'm just saying it went forward.
Oh,
And that's the beauty of sports. Here on the flip side, something that we all can agree on. We all can agree that Scott Norwood missed the field goal and went wide right? I mean, there's no question on that. But
Yes.
a Bills fan will not blame Scott Norwood for that kick. However, I have talked to many non-Bills fans who want us to blame Scott Norwood for that kick.
You can't blame Scott Norwood for that kick. Because
No,
it
you
was
can't.
his longest kick
47-yard
ever.
kick.
You can't,
grass.
right?
For a guy who
It was his longest attempt on grass that entire year.
For a guy who is inconsistent at best.
and he missed it.
But
because
there
of
are
the
people
helicopter.
out there who want us to blame Scott Norwood and put all of it on him. Whereas I would say you could go back to several different points. The Stephen Baker first down catch, where he broke like 4 tackles.
Mm-hmm.
That was key.
Helicopter downdraft pushed the ball
it was
wide.
Are you saying you can't blame him for missing the kick, or you can't blame him for losing the game?
I can't blame him for losing the game.
Sure, yeah, I'm with you then.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it is his fault he missed the kick, but yeah, that wasn't the only reason they lost the game.
No. Yes. Yeah,
Helicopter
exactly.
don't you know?
Why when they saw the Giants come out with 2 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs, why they didn't decide, or 4 defensive backs? I don't remember what the math is there. But they should have just run the ball and let Thurman Thomas have about 400 yards in that game.
You know what another part of the problem is, though? You think about Thurman Thomas' touchdown run in the fourth quarter, an amazing run. But it was too quick.
Yeah, but you
He only
can't
has
ask him to stall
No,
down.
you can't. But you could look back and say, hindsight,
Barber
man,
tried to do that.
was that Tiki Barber? I know the
No,
player talking
no,
about
it was Ahmad Bradshaw. My bad.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not
Bradshaw, yeah.
I don't think Tiki Barber won a Super Bowl.
No,
I wanna
he
say he
retired
retired after
in
06.
2004.
He retired before the 2007 one.
No, I don't think. I mean, I think Ahmad Bradshaw. I mean, he wanted to, but you can't guarantee you're going to get a touchdown in 4 plays. I mean, you're likely going to, but you don't know. So you
Right.
gotta fall into the end zone.
18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect.
I found on one of my VHS tapes the Monday night game in 2007 between Vince Young and the Tennessee Titans at the Jay Cutler-led Denver Broncos.
That sounds horrible. Just in retrospect, it probably wasn't. It probably actually was a hyped game, but thinking about their 2 careers, it sounds horrible.
Well, this game ended up being the most yards Vince Young ever threw up to that point in his career. And for Jay Cutler, up to this point in his career, it was his best game with a best passer rating game, whatever that means.
That's the thing. If I was to tell you,
That means Jay
we're gonna
Cutler
watch-
was playing with a good coach.
Mike Shanahan.
Yes.
if I tell you that we're going to watch Vince Young versus Matt Leinart, you guys get all excited thinking we're going to see Texas USC, right?
Yes.
What if I told
Yeah,
you
but
that we're going to watch
the-
Tennessee versus Arizona?
I would say, again, you need help because people don't watch those games.
I just wonder. What I wonder is how Matt Leinart wasn't a bad quarterback in college. He had a little bit of a weak arm,
Yes.
but that's what made him turn into a bad quarterback. Was a weak arm. Really?
I don't know.
I mean, Matt Leinart confuses me to this day. Of all the quarterbacks that didn't make it in the NFL. Now, okay, here's a question for you. Was Vince Young a terrible quarterback, or did Jeff Fisher ruin him?
Vince Young, he wasn't smart enough to be an NFL quarterback. That's pretty mean, but that's what it is.
You know, wasn't he Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, he actually had a great rookie year.
Yeah, he had a great start. Something went wrong, though.
Well, because teams adjusted and he didn't. I
Yeah,
see it in
but, I
baseball
mean,
all the time. Guys are great as rookies, but they don't know how to.
What's the difference between Vince Young and Pat Mahomes athletically? Is Pat Mahomes more accurate?
Yes,
They both have strong arms.
but Mahomes is stronger.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Vince Young's plenty strong enough to be a quarterback for sure.
Yes.
And plenty athletic.
I just wonder if Jeff Fisher, who I think is a great defensive coach, but, you know, other than Steve McNair, he really had no quarterback. I just wonder if he...
I got disconnected for a second there.
Oh.
I don't know what you guys heard.
I think there's something to it as far as, I mean, I think a bunch of Bears coaches made Cutler way worse than he really is.
Cutler's problem is he looks like he doesn't give a shit all the time.
Well, that's his problem with the media, but like,
well, yeah, but
all the
I mean,
Bears
if
players think he was a great teammate and all that.
Oh, sure, but it just if you look at him on TV, whether they're winning by 40 or losing by 40, he just looks like
Right, and he was never.
My wife's hot.
He was never going to be Peyton Manning, where he was going to care that much.
Right.
But I mean, it's not. He did put in work. He just didn't. His whole life wasn't football. It wasn't like, oh my God, the whole life's over. We lost. Whereas, like, which is what makes some people great, and he was never.
John Elway, after he lost the division playoff game to the Jacksonville Jaguars, was in the gym the following Monday. Okay, one last question, guys, and then I'll stop with the Dallas Cowboy talk. Even though Dallas Cowboy talk will probably give you at least another 17 or 18 views. Because I'll go to the comments and say we talked a lot about the Cowboys.
In the Bears-Bucks game.
Who is the Cowboys' all-time greatest defender? Your options are Bob Lee, Chuck Howley, Mel Renfro, Leroy Jordan, Randy White, Cliff Harris, Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, and DeMarcus Ware.
I was a little worried Deion wasn't going to make the list. I was thinking Deion or maybe DeMarcus Ware.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta see. I gotta go Randy White.
He was be my third.
Yeah, Randy White he was like a sledgehammer with feet. I mean,
by the way,
still playing, isn't he?
No, he retired the year after Denver won the Super Bowl.
Oh. Well, I might be thinking of somebody else. But Ware is definitely somebody. Who the fuck was you just thinking of?
Well, all these players are Hall of Famers or will be. Every one of them.
Yeah.
By the way, and this date in 2007, by the way, it is 27-17 Denver in the third quarter. Speaking of athletically gifted quarterbacks, Michael Vick began serving his jail term today on this date.
So that took 5 minutes off the clock, that drive. So I'm feeling pretty confident now. I mean, I was before, but then with that tip thing, I was thinking, are they going to pull off a couple other things? But I still don't know where the Bears are going. So
yeah,
I'll leave that up to Vinny.
We'll do Bills Raiders tomorrow, I guess.
Sure.
I don't think my watch party tomorrow is going to take more than an hour, I would say, because it's just highlights from all the hockey years. So, maybe 1970 is the game? I don't think so, though. So I'll let you know when I'm available. And then,
did you say you're doing hockey highlights from all the years and it's only going to take an hour?
No, not all the years. The years ending in 0.
Oh.
But 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, and 20, and not 20. 30 and 40 are just a guy talking about them, so they're real quick. The hockey guy was to the YouTube channel. Maybe it's 20 or 30 years. That's because I do, this whole year, my watch parties have a theme, and it's 10, 20, 30, 40 year anniversaries. The ones that the other guy are doing are random because he's not OCD like I am.
Well, the Bucks are going to punt, so that's good. It's good that we don't have to run the score up on them.
Yeah, it does. It's a 70, 60, 50, 40, and 20. 30 and 20.
Make sure they don't try to break ankles or anything here. Yeah, that's fine.
Are you already benching people?
Yeah.
So, with the Chiefs losing, I don't remember any of the names from the Chiefs guys that are retiring. Nobody stuck out. And the Bucks, of course, don't really count because you can't. They're already all are retired.
Oh, 28 to 10.
Yeah. I don't think it matters. All my running backs are about the same. I'm not sure why he's still in there though when I just went and put Livingston in.
If you have him in on if you put him as a formation sub in a particular play, it'll bring him up.
What? Guess I should get used to Livingston just in case he actually has the play, because he's a little bit different with the agility.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort. Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. On first down, not much better there.
He's athletic.
There's only one computer.
What other games? What's the other game? Cardinals. And that's after the...
Stay out. All right.
There's only one computer team left. It's all on the Vikings.
35 to 10. Oh, not 35-10 yet.
Not yet.
We're guaranteed to have a human on the AFC side.
Yeah.
Although, ironically, the three of us still each have a chance to sim the Super Bowl.
Yep. I mean,
some chances are longer than others.
Yes.
Hey, you guys have a chance. That's all you need to know.
One more year, and then we get some teams. I cannot wait to get to 66.
Falcons and Bengals.
Nope.
No.
Falcons and Dolphins.
Yep.
Dolphins, that's right.
And Saints in 67 and Bengals in 68.
So in 66 and 67, we all get to control the worst teams in the league.
In theory, yeah. No, and Chairs already has, because he had the 60 Cowboys, and look what he did with them.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, but we were played on. That doesn't happen if the Bears don't get hurt or we move up a level. Yeah. I don't think I beat all the semi-pro teams with that team. Of course, I played very different than I do now.
Well, I think we all did, except maybe John.
I mean, I bitch about Vinny Ball all the time, but I literally was saying that my goal in that season was to play the 1990 New York Giants, who were ending the game at the start of the kickoff.
Yeah, you might as well admit it since it's video recorded.
Doesn't mean I still don't have to like Vinny Ball now.
You're a closet Vinny Ball champion.
I am not a Vinny Ball.
You were doing Vinny Ball before Vinny was doing Vinny Ball.
I was doing Vinny Ball.
That's true, because I think it's 60.
I had to do Vinny Ball. I had to do Vinny Ball before Vinny Ball because the Dallas Cowboys were rated like 70. I'm not
We
doing Vinny
technically-
Ball with a team that's rated like 98.
We've all heard the story. I did Vinny Ball in college, but I didn't bring it back out until probably 62. I finally smartened up and remembered how I used to win games.
When we went to All Pro, is that what?
Wow, that was a long pass completed on your scrub cornerback.
Yeah. Well, my defensive
Whoa, what?
starters are actually still in.
Is Roman Gabriel playing for the Buccaneers? What's up with that?
He just hates the receiver, setting him up.
Alright, be right back. We'll go put a good job.
That's what you should do. Down by 25 points, less than 2 minutes to go. Throw a pass to your tight end who's 2 yards off the line.
That's the only disappointing part with almost all games, except for maybe chess. It's just that the AI is still stupid. All that happens if you go to all Madden is they just cheat more. You know, they get boosts in speed and boosts in strength and everything, so they're still not doing anything right coaching wise.
You're not being outcoached, you're just
Right.
being outplayed.
Yeah. And the other game that I like to play, which is PC, I was talking about it earlier, that Civilization game. It's the same thing. They do stupid stuff, so if you increase the level, all that it means is they can do things faster than you. They're still stupid, but they just, you can't, you know, your only way to lose is to let them basically have 20 military units every time you build 4, and then maybe their stupid tactics can win for them.
What I don't understand is if you're down by 25 in the playoffs, go for it. Not gonna hurt you, you know. But
right. Yeah. Well, they think that I'll just kneel, which I am gonna just run the ball. I don't know.
You can. You almost went the distance running the ball.
Yeah. True. Well, I purposely kept him out of the end zone just to get through the 2-minute warning.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, we'll do it. The Bears win 35-10. I would like to say I didn't give up a touchdown, but I did on that volleyball touchdown. So there's that. But overall, pretty easy like it was supposed to be. The next game won't be as easy, whether it's the Packers or Cowboys. I lost to both of them. And
beat the Packers.
But you beat the Packers, so
true.
you need to embrace that.
Yes, I do. 206 on the ground. That's got to be a record for myself. I know that Jim Brown does it all the time, but not in the playoffs.
Not this year.
Nope. All right. Thanks for watching. Oh, Rudy Bukic. Oh, because I put him in at the end. I was like, very good. 0%, 0 yards. But obviously he's not the starter. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back sometime in about a week, I think, for Bears Packers, maybe, or Bears Cowboys. Thanks for watching. Bye.